This is a half a decade old Xiaomi's budget device. This one is Xiaomi Redmi 9A. So today we're going to explore this device and try to find out how usable this device is in 2024. The device looks pretty much similar to all other devices released back in 2020 and 2019. As you can see here, the device is working perfectly fine though, but there are a few issues. If you are considering buying this kind of devices right now, you have to know about these things first. We have a huge display here which is 6.5 inch, but the problem is the display is 720p, and for this big display 720p is not really good, and you can see pixels actually. Although the viewing angle and everything is pretty good, but as for the resolution goes, the display looks pretty bad for a 2020 device. In front we also got a 5 megapixel camera here. Right hand side we got typical volume rockers and power button. Left hand side we have a SIM slot. On top we got a 3.5mm headphone jack, but we don't really have any kind of IR blaster here. Usually we see IR blaster with Xiaomi devices, but this one does not have one. On the bottom we have speaker grill, micro USB port and a microphone hole here. And on the back we are getting a pretty decent 13 megapixel rear facing camera with flash. By the way, the whole body is actually plastic body, although it was a budget device, so it's not really that bad. And also it is pretty solid device actually. Under the hood, this device is powered by MediaTek Helio G25 processor coupled with 2GB RAM and 32GB ROM. But you can get this device up to 6GB RAM with 128GB of storage, but unfortunately the device I have here is actually with 2GB RAM and it struggles a lot. So currently this device is running on Xiaomi's MIUI 12.5 as you can see here, based on Android 11, and the security patch level as you can see from 2022. It got actually maybe one major updates. So that's all what you are getting. In terms of feature, you are still getting all the features of MIUI here, but I did not find any kind of second space here. As you can see here, we do have memory extension, but there is no second space on this device. Maybe for the budget device they are not including that because very limited storage. Maybe it cannot run second space, so that is not available. And also in terms of privacy, you are not getting any kind of fingerprint scanner here, but face unlock is there and it is pretty much solid. It still works pretty fine, and there are few things which doesn't work, like it does not support any kind of 5 GHz Wi-Fi band, although it does support 4G VoLTE and works pretty fine without any kind of issue. I did try that. So as you can see here, it is running pretty decent actually. I haven't installed much application here. I did remove most of the bloatware from here, and I also disabled the animation. So as you can see here, it is looking fast because I removed the animation. With the animation it struggles a lot and it is kind of visible that it is slowing down. These are the application we are getting here. I did install few games and I did try to install Gcam here, but did not work. By the way, the camera here is actually performing well, I will say. For a budget device, cannot expect much. So the camera UI as you can see here, photos, videos, and in the pro mode actually we are getting all the customization. We do have control over white balance, focus, shutter speed and ISO. That's pretty cool actually for a budget device to have all this control. In terms of video, it can shoot up to 10 fps 30 fps with both front and rear facing camera. Photos, and also we can take HDR photos. So as you can see here, HDR auto and HDR, so we can take photos with HDR, but it takes time to process the picture. As you can see here, it is taking time, but the picture quality is pretty decent. I did take few picture here, let me show you, but on this display these pictures looks pretty bad. So as you can see, it looks like blurry pictures, but they're pretty good for a budget device. So the pictures quality is still good, pretty manageable. We do have portrait mode here. It does not do well in terms of portrait because we don't really have any kind of depth sensor or any other sensor, so the edge detection is not really good. So these are the features we are getting here. In terms of camera, the camera is working pretty well, but you can't really compare the camera with today's device. UI experience, it's pretty bad though. I did play a few games here like Subway Surf, Temple Run and Jetpack. These games work pretty well with this 2 GB of RAM. Haven't faced any kind of issue. In terms of usability, you can still use this device as a daily drive, but if you are a hardcore user, maybe not. One thing which is really good on this device is battery backup. So this device got 5000 mAh battery. The battery backup is excellent. First of all, it got a very low resolution display, 720p, and the processor here actually is pretty low power too, MediaTek G25, which consumes very less battery. So in terms of battery backup, this is an excellent device and it still holds up pretty well in terms of battery, but overall experience is pretty bad. In terms of other features, it got ad feature. You will see ad everywhere. That is the only unique feature here. In terms of speaker quality also, it is not really that great. By the way, this device can play up to 1080p 60 fps, so that's good for this kind of device. So as you heard, the speaker gets pretty loud, but it is not really that great. You're going to get pretty decent experience, but this display is so bad that if you watch any videos here, it's not going to look good, although it can play 1080p. That's what you are getting with a budget device. But nowadays the budget devices are really good. They are like flagship device of 2020 in terms of performance. If you have one of these devices right now and if you want a better experience from this device, you can do one thing only: installing a custom ROM. I will definitely make some videos about custom ROM for this device in future videos. As for now, I can't really do that right now because I did apply for a bootloader unlocking permission. Maybe I will get it. Maybe I will be able to unlock the device after 15 days. Then I will try some custom ROM. So if you are using Redmi 9A, you can keep eye on my channel to see some custom ROM reviews. So that's all about this device. It's a pretty decent device right now. You can get one of this for $25 to $30, but the experience will be very bad, but you can still use this device as a dumb phone. So that's all about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.